Greetings, this is Vlodril and welcome back to Let's Play the Blackwell Epiphany. Time to speak with Madeline and try to get some information on what the hell is going on.
Blackwell, Mallone, it's been a long time since we've been able to converse.
It's been almost 6 months since Joey freed you. How come we're only seeing you now?
I admit the transition hasn't been pleasant. I have had 3 hosts since returning to this world. The first was an old man on the edge of death. He lingered for 6 weeks before finally succumbing to the inevitable. When the old man passed, I became bound to his niece for a time. She ran every time she saw me. I tried to keep my distance, give her time to adjust, but in the end, she fell down the stairs in an attempt to flee. The poor woman died, and I was passed to her brother, the man inside.
She's kinda sketchy, right? It's not just me. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you know what's going on? Why are these souls being attacked?
I do not know. I wish I did. Like you, we saw it happen. We saw a soul being torn apart and could do nothing. I'm afraid my host became a little unreasonable after that.
Why was George looking for me?
We needed a bestower. A proper bestower. My host and I were not up to the task.
Eh?
It might be due to my time in the void. It might be because my host's soul has been marked by whatever is out there. But in any case, our abilities are limited. We cannot even help lost souls move on as you do. We can see them and talk to them, but that is all. Hence why we needed you.
Lucky us.
So what can we do? We don't even know what's going on.
Our theory was that you could help move these poor souls into the next world before they were destroyed. But it appears that it did not achieve the desired result.
You could say that, yeah.
You must investigate. My host and I are restricted, but you two are not. If anyone can help uncover why these poor spirits are being attacked and stop it, it is you.
Shouldn't the guy acting as the host actually know why they are being attacked?
You should really call me Rosangela.
Forgive me. When you are as old as I am, all the names blur together. So I tend to address those I speak to by their family name. It is just easier that way, and less painful. I'm afraid it is a habit that is difficult to break.
So how'd you like being on the outside, as it were? I imagine it's better than being trapped wherever you were.
I had thought, I had hoped, that I would pass on, that being brought back to the mortal world would force me to obey mortal laws. Instead, No, it is not to be. I have returned to my former duties, therefore I must have further work to do. But yes, it is nicer than being trapped in the void. Did I ever thank you, Mallone?
Not as such, no.
Well, I must rectify that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
This is really giving me some bad vibes, I'm not sure why. Also I still need to... well, I want to know why the hell Joey seemed to pass into the light and then he's still here.
Do you know anything about this Grace group?
I know that it meant a great deal to my host, as well as his friends. Whatever happened at those meetings, it greatly improved their lives. But obviously, it came at a cost.
Do you know a place called the Karth House?
I'm afraid I do not.
So you don't know anything about this Grace group?
I'm afraid not. You know as much as I.
Well, a lot of help you are. Maybe we can ask the priest inside.
What can you tell me about Father Michael?
Cooper is my host. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
Is he always this ornery?
Do have some pity for him. He has lost his uncle, his sister, and several of his friends. He has been forced to accept the spirit world and the possible loss of his own soul, all within the span of a few weeks. If anyone deserves some understanding, it is he.
I wonder how old she is. She keeps referring to any of her companions or partners as my host because she doesn't want to get attached, I guess. So I wonder, has she been doing that for 200, 300 years, 1000 years, how long? So it looks kinda... yeah, I don't know, 600-700 years. The clothes, maybe less. I don't think this is more than 1,000, but it would be nice to get an answer on that too.
There's a ghost haunting the empty apartment across from George Austin.
I see. Well, you know your duty. Go and save it.
Is there anything else?
Sadly, no.
Why do you let Father Michael push you around like that?
It is what my host wishes.
So?
Simply that. I must do what my host commands.
Right, seriously. What's the story?
No story, Mallone. If my host wishes me to leave him alone, I leave him alone.
That actually works?
Of course. It is my duty to do so.
So, Joey, could...
No.
Of course, some of us take our duties more seriously than others.
Now that's interesting. We might get her being my host told me to do that, so I did the bad thing. Or she might change the way she acted since whatever happened with the Countess.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you.
Of course.
We'll see.
Father
The Lord
Michael?
is my shepherd.
Yeah?
What is this circle?
Oh, this. Madeline taught me how to do it. It prevents anything spiritual from getting to me. It takes some concentration to maintain, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit inhospitable.
I wonder how they know all these spiritual blockers suddenly. He was taught by Madeline, but what about Leah?
I can't believe there's another medium in New York.
Medium?
Sorry, I mean bestower. I've been calling myself medium for so long I sometimes forget.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not like I have anyone to talk to about this stuff. Well, nobody living anyway.
Hey, look, I'd love to swap ghost stories with you, but it takes all my concentration to maintain the circle.
Right, sorry. Maybe we'll have coffee later? You know, after we save your soul and everything.
Sure, sounds great.
How did you learn what was happening?
You mean that our souls were being taken?
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I was at the bedside of a friend. Jeffrey, his name was. He went to the Grace Group meetings back in the day. Like me. He had been in a car accident. Hit and run. He was dying, and he wanted me there. And when he died, I saw it. His spirit being torn apart. He screamed. I'll never forget that scream.
I know. I saw it too.
Anyway, with Madeline's help, I began looking into other members of the group, and learned it was happening to all of us. You know the rest.
I wonder if it's not someone from inside the group that is killing them. Hit and run, getting shot like that. Seems like... well, we'll see, I guess.
So you're working with Madeline?
Working? I guess you could call it that. I've been too busy being scared to give it any serious thought.
So why'd you send Madeline outside?
Her presence disturbs my concentration, so she's keeping as far away as she can until this is resolved.
What about us?
You're the ones who are going to save my hide. For you, I'll make the extra effort to focus.
Could you tell me about the Grace Group? It was some kind of self-help group?
About 20 years ago, I was a very different person. I suppose you could call me an alcoholic, although I wouldn't have said it at the time. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It promised to help folks like me find their way. It seemed to be some kind of hippie self-help group, but I went to a meeting anyway. I don't remember much about the meetings, but somehow I had discovered that going to seminary school was something I had to do. It all made sense.
Made sense.
I just knew it was what I was meant to be doing, and I was right.
This guy was seriously brainwashed, or, you know, hypnotized, or something. I like that they didn't bother with I don't remember any of these meetings.
Is there anything else you could tell us about the Grace Group?
No. You know everything I do.
There are tons of case files listed here. I'm not going to ask. What about yourself? Is there anything we should know?
Look, you're not exactly catching me at my best here. I can't do anything. I'm not a true bestower like you are. Madeline says she's been weakened, or I've been weakened, or something. She doesn't know. Believe me, if I could do what you can do, I'd be out there trying to stop this. But I can't. So all I can do is hide.
Did you know that there's a ghost across the roof from George's apartment?
Really?
Do you know anything about it?
Sadly, no. I'm sorry.
God damn it. We'll never find her name.
Anything else you...
No,
Alright, I don't see anything else.
What happened at these meetings?
That's just it. I don't remember. Until recently, I never questioned it before. How messed up is that? I'd go, I'd sit down and leave. I'd meet with the other members for coffee afterward. What on earth did we talk about? We must have found something. But I do remember a man. Benjiro. He ran the meetings.
Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
Benjiro. Okay.
How many people went to these meetings?
There were 6 of us. You already know about Leah and George and myself. The others are dead.
Who were they?
Does it matter? They are dead. Their souls were taken.
Even still, tell me.
Jeffrey Dutta, Heather Goffstein, Peter Fielding.
So the man who ran the Grace Group meetings was named Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
Could you tell me about Jeffrey?
God, Jeffrey Dutta. Talk about transfiguration. When he walked into that Grace Group meeting, I thought he was in the wrong place. I mean, the guy was a Wall Street broker, for crying out loud. He could have bought the church and everything in it. But he later confessed that he tried to kill himself. Twice.
So what happened to him?
He became a professional dog walker. Can you believe it? He used to pocket millions a year, plus bonuses. Then he was picking up dog crap for $25 an hour and smiling about it. He was hit by a car crossing the street. A hit and run. I was at his bedside when he died. Madeline had been around for about a month at that point, so I saw his spirit rise from his body. I thought I was supposed to help him, but instead You know what happened next.
So if everybody else is dead, it is either Benjiro or this guy, because there are no other people left in the group.
Could you tell me about Peter?
Peter Fielding, yes. I never had much contact with him. He died several months ago. I'm afraid it's too late for him.
You saw his soul being taken?
Well, no. He died before Madeline came into my life, so I can't say for sure. But he went to Grace Group meetings, and he's dead. What other conclusion can I reach?
Could be Madeline that is taking the souls.
Tell me about Heather Goffstein.
Also a valid theory, I think.
She was a member of your group.
Yes, she was one of us. I asked George if he knew where she was. He told me she was dead. I'm afraid it's too late for her.
Is this like Peter? Did you actually see her soul being taken?
No, I didn't. Thank heaven I didn't. Seeing it happen once is more than I can take.
A lot of interesting things then.
How exactly did Peter Fielding die?
Why? Are you going to try and find his spirit? There is no spirit. It's gone.
You said it yourself. You don't know for sure.
It was some kind of accident. I'm not sure of the details. I read about his death in the obituaries. Too late for his funeral, sadly, but I said a prayer for him.
However, it's Heather, the person on the... across George.
How did Heather Goffstein die?
I'm afraid I don't know. George was the one who kept in touch with her. He told me she died, but he didn't tell me how
Maybe.
or when.
We'll see.
I suppose it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm right about the...
We're going to go.
The souls started to
Godspeed.
get devoured since Madeline appeared.
He
We'll
makes
see.
me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
This
Though I
Benjiro
walk through the
person,
valley of the shadow
if he
of
ran the
death, I
Grace
will
Group
fear no
meetings-
evil, for thou
Alright,
art with
we
me.
can do
Thy
that in
rod
here.
and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before... That's far enough.
Oh, come on. It's me.
Sorry. Bestower or no bestower, I'm taking no chances. Get back.
Fine.
That was weird and the game crashed. Alright. I'll be back. Greetings, this is Vlodril and welcome back to Let's Play Blackwell Epiphany. Alright, let's see if we can find anything about the gym. No.
So, have you heard of this Tanya Corsi person?
Tanya Corsi? Was she in the gym?
No, it's the name of our roof spook. Is she famous or something?
You could say that. She has a TV show.
I should Google here.
I think you mean she had a TV show. Let's get going.
I probably misspelled that. Or say.
Tanya was the host of the Good Morning Show. I remember hearing that they got a new host, but I didn't know this was the reason. Channel 11. I think their head office is in Penn Plaza. Can't hurt to ask around.
Alright, more info.
Officer Palmer?
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Let's see if we can get some more information about these people.
Do you have a record of a Michael Cooper in your system? He's a priest.
Let's check. Sorry, whoever he is, there's no file on him.
Do you know anything about Tanya Corsi's death?
Tanya Corsi? What are you doing getting involved with her?
It's...
complicated. Yeah, I get it. Durkin warned me it might get weird. Anyway, there's not much to tell. She slipped in her shower and hit her head on the tub. She fell unconscious and she drowned. The coroner did an autopsy on her and found traces of whiskey and Valium in her system. Not a good combination.
She killed herself?
If you believe the tabloids, then yeah. But the coroner says no. There wasn't much in her system to actually kill her, but it was enough to make her a bit clumsy.
So it was just an accident.
So it would seem.
So it would seem.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Let's see. Yep, hit and run, like you said. Technically, the case is open, but nobody has any hopes that it will be solved.
Can you tell me anything about the death of a Mr. Peter Fielding?
Okay, let's see. Yep, here he is. Peter Fielding, age 54, owned a fitness
54?
center on Hill called Field's Gym. He fell off a ladder while fixing a light bulb in the locker room. Hit his head on the bench and bled to death. Nobody found him for several hours. An ambulance was called and pronounced him dead at the scene.
Nothing more than that?
That's pretty open and shut. Accidental death.
Accidental death my ass. Also that guy did not look like 54. Come on now.
Do you have any record of a Heather Goffstein?
Let me check. Nope, nothing on Heather Goffstein. Sorry.
Well, that didn't help me much, I guess.
I'm trying to find someone named Benjiro. He ran some kind of self-help circle called the Grace Group.
Let's see. No, nothing on file. Sorry.
Well, I'd better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
It's weird that suddenly Durkin disappeared and we get to deal with this guy. I think it might be significant, but we'll see, I guess. Alright, new places.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm Rosangela Blackwell. Do you work here?
Certainly do. Jim Peebles, senior producer. How can I help you?
So what do you do here?
I'm the head producer for the Good Morning Show with Kathy Carton.
Isn't that Tanya Corsi's old show?
Yes, it is.
Did you work here when Tanya was alive?
Yes. Why do you ask?
I'm looking into her death.
Wasn't it an accident?
That's why I'm looking into it, just to be sure.
Huh. Well, all right.
It's pretty empty here tonight.
Well, look outside. The weather's horrible and almost everybody commutes to work. Nobody can get in, so we're running on a skeleton crew.
What can you tell me about Tanya?
I liked her. Some anchors think they're the be-all and end-all, but not her. She knew we were all in this together and worked well with all of us. That's how you make a new show. Everyone needs to help each other.
Can you tell me anything else about Tanya?
Like I said, we all miss her. There's nothing else to say.
Can you tell me about yourself?
Me? Well, what you see is what you get. I started working at a copywriter's desk about 30 years ago. Worked my way up to producer. Been here ever since.
I don't see how they fit with anything else. Well, might as well ask. You never know.
Held meetings a long time ago. It was called the Grace Group. Ever hear of it?
Sorry, no.
There are tons of... Do you know a priest by the name of Michael Cooper?
I'm afraid I haven't.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Sorry, no.
Do you know anything about the death of Peter?
No, although you've reminded me.
Alright, he knows nothing.
It was signed J.
And?
And your name begins with J. Did you write it?
Seriously?
You're in journalism. You know that any lead is worth following.
Well, sorry, I didn't write any note to Tanya. Not that I remember.
Well, thanks for your time, Mr. Peebles. I might be
Peebles.
Sure
Let's
thing.
Google him.
I'm not going anywhere.
Or Google him. Did they change that? They don't give a name now. Alright. Not Kim. Jim. No results found. Alright, I think we need to go and talk to Tanya. I also probably should have checked the newsroom a bit more, but well.
Joey, could you come out here?
What is it?
I know about Heather. Oh, Heather is the woman, right? Jay. Yep. Heather Goffstein.
I don't think those are connected.
Really?
Hi there.
Hello again, mister. What brings you by?
You're Tanya Corsi, aren't you? You're in television.
I knew you'd get it. That's me, Tanya Corsi, host of the Good Morning Show on Channel 11. Now all the mystery is gone.
Are you sure you don't know any?
No, please stop.
Do you know a Heather Goffstein?
No. No, I don't. Sorry.
Come on, that note on the floor, it has Heather written on it.
So, like I told you, it has no meaning to me. I don't know any Heather.
I met one of your producers, Jim.
What about him?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering what you could tell me about him.
I don't spread gossip, mister. Except when I'm on the air.
You sure you can't?
If you want to get to know...
Well, you're not helpful, are you?
Do you know anything about
Grace Group?
You ever go to the Carth House? Dumpy place in Chelsea.
Sorry, no.
Do you know a Michael Cooper?
I don't.
She was rather displeased.
Do you know a Michael Cooper?
I don't. Sorry.
Not smiling, etc.
Does the name Benjiro ring any bells?
Benjiro? Is that Japanese?
I believe so.
Sorry, I don't know anyone named Benjiro.
Do you know a guy named Jeffrey Dutta?
Sorry, I don't.
So, I heard you go to Peter Fielding's gym.
I do. Or rather, I did. After what happened to him, I just couldn't.
You mean his...
Death? Yes. So senseless.
So, can you tell me anything about Peter?
A brutal taskmaster is what he was. But I can't deny he got results.
Nope, I can't deny it either. Is there anything... Did you ever see him outside of the gym?
No. No, of course I didn't.
Is there anything else? Did you ever...
No.
That didn't help me much. Can we tell her he's dead? Not yet, I think.
Well, Tanya, I have to get going, but I'll see you around.
Ta.
Alright, that wasn't really helpful. Time to go around asking people about shit.
Ah, you have returned.
We found one of the Grace Group spooks, Peter Fielding.
I see. Is he still intact?
Yeah, he tried to get me to join a gym.
I thought as much.
You thought so? What do you mean?
You know as well as I do. A spirit cannot be moved from this world until it is spiritually ready. It would appear that is also the case here.
But what about George and Leah?
From my understanding, they were aware of their death when they were taken.
Yeah, they were.
Then there is your answer. They were spiritually ready to leave this world, and so were vulnerable. This Fielding, was it? He is a lucky soul indeed. Until he is made aware, he cannot be taken. Not by you, or by anyone else.
I guess my theory might be wrong. We'll see.
You've been around the block a few times, so to speak. Nothing like this has ever happened to you before?
The destruction of the very essence of life? No. Such a thing is difficult to contemplate, and to witness it, even more so.
So wait, this is our fault?
Whatever do you mean?
Leah, George. Just by trying to save them, we destroyed them.
I suppose. Yes, it could be seen that.
No, it wasn't.
Please do not blame yourself. How could you have known?
I'm not blaming
Ignorance
myself at all.
doesn't change anything.
Listen to me. Whatever or whoever is taking these souls, they were marked long before they died. All we can do now is move forward and save who we can.
So what? We just leave the spook to rot?
Of course not. It has been known for some spirits to become aware on their own. The right face, the right moment, anything can trigger it. And if that happens to Fielding, no. Our duty is to save him, and save him we shall.
How? The usual rules have been chucked out the window. We make a move and he gets hammered, and we're not gonna let that happen, not again.
It is a dilemma for certain.
We need to think about this, plan our next move.
Of course. In fact, I might have an idea along those lines. I must confer with my host. Please excuse me.
He's okay? Peter's really okay?
He is still deceased, but in all other respects, yes. He is as well as can be.
This changes everything. You have no idea. You two, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never even considered that Peter's soul could be saved. And maybe Heather too. Yes, Heather. If she wasn't taken, then her soul must still be lost.
And this is a good thing?
Of course. If a soul is merely lost, it still can be saved. And maybe so can mine.
So, what's your plan?
We are approaching this from ignorance, and possibly from fear. Before I was trapped in the void, I was a spirit guide for a very long time. I can learn much from a spirit by looking at it, and talking to it. If Fielding's soul still exists, then it must be brought here.
And Heather,
So I can
Heather's
devour
soul
it.
must still be out there.
And her as well, of course.
I don't trust you at all, though.
Peter Fielding's spook is at the gym. It's not too far away. You can talk to him there.
Are you kidding? I step out of this circle, who knows what could happen? If I die, there's a good chance I'll be an aware spirit, just like Leah and George, and then...
Be at peace, my host. I would not ask you to do such a thing.
Well, thank heaven for that.
Besides, it is unnecessary. As you say, only spiritually aware souls are attacked. Since this Fielding is not spiritually aware, meeting him in his current state would be fruitless. We need to awaken him before I can determine anything about him.
Won't awakening these ghosts destroy him? Aren't we trying to avoid that?
Don't be absurd. We'll put them behind this circle. They will be safe there.
And how are we supposed to do that? Spooks like me can't enter the thing.
This might surprise you, Mallone, but I did think of that. Come here. Take this.
What's this thing?
Call it a totem. It was made with some of my essence. The circle was created in
Don't
much the
trust
same way,
here.
so it will make a perfect focus. When you awaken a spirit, use the totem to send them directly here. They will remain safely behind the circle until we can determine the next course of action.
So I'll be trapped in this circle with Peter and Heather's ghosts?
I am afraid so, my host.
Well, I suppose it can't be helped. And I guess it will be nice to see them again.
Yes.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Peter? Anything that can help us?
No. Of all the people in our group, Peter was the one I spoke to the least. I think George once belonged to his gym, even took personal training sessions for a while. But George wasn't really the personal fitness type.
I need to know everything you can tell me about Heather.
Well, there was one thing. It was a confession of sorts, you see, and she trusted me.
What was it?
You don't understand. It was a confession. It might have been a long time ago, but it was still a
She's
sacred
dead.
trust. I can't betray that trust. It goes against everything I believe in.
Don't you think that under the circumstances, she would understand?
I'm not sure God would.
Does it really matter? What's the worst that could happen? You lose your soul?
My God, when you put it like that. Heather was a prostitute. She wanted to confess, but didn't feel right entering a church. She might have been Jewish, judging by her name, but I think she just wanted to speak to someone who understood.
Understood.
Someone who had been to grace group meetings. Someone who had had a life-changing revelation, like I did. I don't know what her revelation was, but she wanted to purge herself of her old life. So she asked if I could come to her apartment and listen to her. So I did.
Do you remember where she lived?
I was a priest entering the house of a prostitute. It's not something you forget. She lived by Tompkins Square Park. Here's the address.
Why is that so horrifying? Wasn't Jesus all about that?
Is there anything else you can tell us about Heather? Anything at all?
I just know she was a prostitute when she went to grace group meetings. I don't know what's happened to her since.
Religion.
Do you know Jim Peebles?
No, sorry.
Did you ever watch a TV show starring Tanya Corsi?
No, sorry.
You're not helpful. Alright.
We're gonna head back out.
We got a new place, so we'll check it
Then I
out.
do believe our talk is concluded. I will return outside.
Hey, Madeline?
Yes, my host.
It's all right.
All right.
Yeah, stay inside. It's cold out there.
I don't feel the cold, my host.
I know. Just stay, please, and thanks.
It is my pleasure, my host.
I still don't trust you. That was interesting. Because I was controlling Joy, he did most of the talking. So I guess if you controlled Rosangela, if she would speak instead, maybe. Anyway, I'll end this episode here. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, leave a comment if you want to. And next time we'll go explore and talk to Heather, maybe. We'll see.